welcome to Cooking for Real, where today I am fulfilling a viewer request, although William, not quite the way you were hoping. I am going to show you my now famous recipe for pizza loaf. I actually won a cooking competition with this in the 90s, and ever since then it has been recreated 100 times, if not more, to the point that you probably can't even find my original recipe anymore. So today on Cooking for Real, may I introduce you to my famous pizza loaf. Okay, let's get started. What I have here is 1.5 pounds of ground beef. And then I bought sweet Italian sausage. And I bought it in patties just so that I don't have to peel the casings off. Now, we really only want to get our hands messy once for this, so I'm going to add everything into this bowl right now. This is my freshly seasoned breadcrumbs. That is about 1/3 to 1/2 cup. Now, because this is basically based on pizza, we're going to add everything that you would think of for Italian cooking. So here I have basil, which is about 1 tablespoon there. I'll put that lid on later. I've got oregano, again about 1 tablespoon. It came out kind of slow. We're going to do the same with parsley. Minced garlic. I like mine garlicky. And then we have minced onion here, and again just about the same. Now that we have all of the seasoning in here, I want you to add, I have Prego because I'm allergic to tomatoes, but somehow I can eat Prego. We're going to add about 1/4 of the jar. You know, everybody beats their eggs before they put them in, but quite honestly, you're gonna mix them up in there anyway. And remember, eggshells are compostable. So let's drop 3 eggs in here. And the very last seasoning is Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire. Not Worcester, not Worcestershire. It's Worcestershire. Worcestershire. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3 measured doses. Don't go more. Now, I'm not grossed out by touching wet meat or raw eggs, but it's cold. And when I wash up for the next round, it won't be that big of a deal. So now we're gonna run everything through our sexy little fingers and mush this whole thing together. It actually already smells exactly like pizza. So that Italian sausage actually gives a lot of flavor and really good fat to help bind this whole thing together once we put it in the oven. And the eggs and the breadcrumbs actually help hold everything together. And the eggs will actually help to reconstitute what's in here, my freshly dried herbs. See, we actually have a good mix on it. I really want the egg in there good, though. I don't want to find a scrambled egg in the middle. And yeah, you can see this is a heavy product because it keeps pulling my gloves off. So now, next thing, I don't put it in a meatloaf pan. I put it in here. And then I do like my mom does, and I form it. Now this is pizza loaf, so it's basically a stuffed meatloaf. And again, I have to keep my hands clean because I have to go in and out of the fridge for other things. So what we're going to do is put down the original, the bottom layer. How many different ways can I say this? Okay. Bottom layer of the meat mix. You want about half of this meat mix in this pan. And by the way, I did spray the pan with Pam. I Pammed the pan. Okay, what do you think? Do we have a good layer there? It looks like we do. All right. So now comes the pizza part. I have here my canned mushrooms. Any canned mushroom will do. Just sprinkle it out there. These were actually white mushrooms, but because I processed them in a nice beef broth, they came out this dark. So that's the mushrooms. And now, carefully hidden pepperoni, because we snack on pepperoni in this house. Now, here's the thing with the pepperoni. It's already greasy. So you actually don't want to put too heavy of a layer. And it actually will make the whole thing difficult to cut later if you go too thick with it. So I'm going to do it exactly like they would in a pizza shop, where it's spaced out. Because they know the same thing I know. This stuff is greasy. It's going to add a lot of liquid. So you're here for to put a little flavor in your dish, a little surprise here and there, but you don't want to kill it, right? Okay. And I have here a finely shredded pizza style 4-cheese blend. So for argument's sake, the cheese that's in this bag is mozzarella, provolone, parmesan, and romano cheeses. I want to put about 2/3 of this in the middle. Now we're going to do another layer of sauce, which was another 1/3 of the container. Smooth it out if you want to. Nice and pretty. And now the rest of the meat. It's a little harder to smooth it out on top of a already made item, but it's not impossible. And now we're going to top it with the rest of the cheese. See, it's just a topping. And sprinkle more sauce over the top. Now, I'm not going to foil this. Some people might. I'm not going to, just because it does get awful juicy, so I actually want it to dry out just a little bit. Now, before I slide this into my 350-degree oven, I have to say that I've taped this part in real time, and all of this took 11 minutes. So just quickly, what I'm going to do here, some salt, some pepper, and this is covered in olive oil. We're going to mix this all by hand. And it's going to go in the oven with the pizza loaf, and it's going to be a nice side dish to go along with dinner tonight, which after you saw everything that I put in that pizza loaf, a little cauliflower probably isn't a bad idea. Well, there you have it, my famous pizza loaf. Everybody in the house has had dinner, and I have managed to pack up quite a lot of leftovers for lunches, etc. Remember, if you're going to try this, keep the grease to a minimum. So cut down on that pepperoni. Don't let your eyes get bigger than your stomach. And, you know, change up the cheese if you want to. And if you're not a fan of mushrooms, maybe pop some broccoli in there or whatever else. Do you like peppers on your pizza? Throw that in that middle layer. Thank you once again for the suggestion, William. And I look forward to hearing everybody's comments. Please don't forget to like and share and ring the bell to subscribe.